Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling uneasy, like the words were warm, but the vibe was ice cold? Or maybe you've noticed a friend's smile doesn't quite reach their eyes, leaving you wondering what's really going on beneath the surface. I've felt that chill before. A few years ago, I had a coworker who was all compliments and camaraderie, but something felt off. Little jabs disguised as jokes, moments of distance that I couldn't pin down. It wasn't until I dove into Carl Jung's shadow psychology that I realized those subtle cues were signs of hidden resentment, rooted in the unconscious. Jung taught us that the shadow, the parts of ourselves we deny, often leaks out in ways that shape our relationships, sometimes revealing when someone secretly dislikes us. Today, we're uncovering 10 subtle signs that someone might be hiding their true feelings, using Jung's wisdom to decode their behavior and empower you to respond with clarity. This isn't about pointing fingers. It's about understanding the psyche to build stronger connections or protect your peace. So grab a notebook, take a deep breath, and let's peel back the layers together. If this already resonates, hit that like button, share this video with someone navigating tricky relationships, and click the bell to join our journey into the human psyche. Before we dive into the signs, let's unpack Jung's shadow. The shadow is the unconscious part of us that holds traits we reject: anger, jealousy, insecurity. Jung said, "Everyone carries a shadow, and the less it is embodied in the individual's conscious life, the blacker and denser it is." When someone harbors resentment, their shadow projects it onto you through subtle behaviors, often because they're unaware of their own suppressed emotions. These signs aren't always about you, they reflect their inner conflict. Think about a time you sensed tension without clear reason. Was it their shadow speaking? Jung believed understanding this helps us navigate relationships with compassion, not defensiveness. A friend, Alex, once noticed a colleague's coldness and realized it stemmed from their own unacknowledged envy. What hidden tension have you sensed in someone close? Recognizing it through Jung's lens is the first step to clarity. The first sign is passive-aggressive remarks, sly comments or backhanded compliments that sting beneath a veneer of politeness. Jung saw these as shadow projections, where someone expresses suppressed feelings indirectly. I had a friend who'd say things like, "Wow, you always seem so confident," with a tone that felt more like a jab. Jung's insight reveals these remarks often stem from the speaker's unowned insecurities. Reflect. Have you caught a subtle dig that left you second-guessing? This ties to the shadow's need to externalize pain. What comment from someone lingers in your mind? Noticing it helps you see their inner struggle. The second sign is avoiding eye contact. Jung connected eyes to the soul, and dodging them can signal discomfort or hidden hostility. A coworker of mine would look away during conversations, and I later learned they resented my role in a project. Jung taught that the shadow hides from direct engagement, fearing exposure. Think. Does someone consistently avoid your gaze? This sign links to their unconscious guilt or envy. What's a moment you felt unseen by someone's eyes? It's a clue to their shadow at play. Sign 3 is an overly polite facade, excessive courtesy that feels forced, masking true feelings. Jung's persona concept explains this as a mask hiding the shadow. I once had a neighbor who was meticulously polite but never warm, later revealing resentment over a misunderstanding. Jung said, "The persona is what someone is not, but what he and others think he is." Question: does someone's politeness feel hollow? Their shadow may be concealing dislike. What overly polite interaction stands out to you? It's a sign of inner conflict. The fourth sign is subtle exclusion, being left out of plans or conversations in ways that feel deliberate yet deniable. Jung linked exclusion to the shadow's fear of vulnerability, pushing others away to protect itself. A friend group once forgot to invite me to events, later tied to one member's unspoken grudge. Ask yourself, have you felt sidelined in a way that stung? This reflects the shadow's avoidance. What exclusion have you noticed? It points to their hidden feelings. Sign 5 is defensive body language, crossed arms, turned shoulders, or physical distance signaling discomfort. Jung saw the body as an unconscious communicator, revealing what words conceal. I noticed a relative's stiff posture around me, hinting at unresolved tension from a past disagreement. Jung believed the shadow manifests physically when suppressed. Reflect. Does someone's body language feel guarded around you? It's a shadow signal. What physical cue have you picked up? It's a window into their psyche. The sixth sign is inconsistent support, offering help or praise sporadically, often with strings attached. Jung tied this to the shadow's ambivalence, where resentment undermines genuine care. A colleague would cheer my successes one day, but dismiss them the next, reflecting their hidden jealousy. Jung said, "The shadow is a moral problem that challenges the whole ego personality." Ponder. Does someone's support feel unreliable? It's their shadow wavering. What inconsistent behavior have you noticed? It reveals their inner tug-of-war. Sign 7 is gossip or third-party complaints, spreading negativity about you indirectly. Jung viewed gossip as a shadow projection, displacing inner conflict onto others. A friend once heard rumors about me from someone I trusted, tied to their unaddressed resentment. Jung taught that the shadow avoids direct confrontation. Ask, have you heard whispers about yourself? This sign points to their unconscious dislike. What rumor has reached you? It's their shadow speaking. The 8th sign is unexplained irritation, snapping or impatience without clear cause. Jung linked this to the shadow's leakage, where suppressed emotions erupt. I had a boss who'd get annoyed at my suggestions, later traced to their insecurity about my skills. Jung said, "What we do not make conscious emerges as fate." Reflect. Does someone's irritation catch you off guard? It's their shadow surfacing. What sudden annoyance have you faced? It's a clue to their hidden feelings. Sign 9 is projection of flaws, accusing you of traits they deny in themselves. Jung's projection theory explains how the shadow casts its darkness onto others. A family member once called me selfish, projecting their own guilt over neglecting shared responsibilities. Jung noted, projections change the world into the replica of one's unknown face. Question: have you been blamed for something that felt unfair? It's their shadow at work. What accusation hit you unexpectedly? It mirrors their inner struggle. The 10th sign is lack of genuine curiosity. They show little interest in your life, thoughts, or feelings. Jung believed authentic connection requires openness, and the shadow blocks this when resentment festers. A friend stopped asking about my life, later admitting they felt overshadowed. Jung said curiosity reflects the integrated self. Ponder. Does someone seem disengaged from your world? Their shadow may be shutting you out. Who stopped showing interest in you? It's a sign of hidden dislike. To navigate these signs, here are 10 practical steps inspired by Jung's shadow psychology. First, shadow journaling. Write about interactions that feel off, noting possible projections. Second, observe patterns. Track recurring behaviors to confirm signs. Third, active imagination. Visualize the person's shadow and ask what it hides. Fourth, self-reflection. Examine if your own shadow contributes to tension. Fifth, compassionate inquiry. Ask open-ended questions to invite honesty. Sixth, boundary setting. Protect your energy from toxic dynamics. Seventh, dream analysis. Look for symbols of conflict in dreams. Eighth, mindfulness practice. Stay grounded to avoid reacting to projections. Ninth, seek feedback. Discuss with trusted friends for perspective. 10th, gratitude shift. Focus on relationships that uplift you. Which step feels right? Start today to reclaim clarity. Let's deepen the exploration. Jung's shadow isn't just personal. It's influenced by the collective unconscious, where societal norms shape suppressed traits. For instance, cultural expectations of politeness can amplify passive aggression, as seen in sign 1. I noticed this in a workplace where niceness masked rivalry. Reflect. How might culture fuel someone's shadow behavior toward you? Recognizing this adds depth to your understanding. Projections in sign 9 often stem from complexes, emotionally charged unconscious patterns. Jung's complex theory suggests these flare when triggered. A colleague's accusation of my arrogance reflected their own insecurities, unveiled through journaling. What complex might someone's projection reveal? Tracing it back empowers you. Synchronicity can amplify these signs, like repeated encounters with the same tension. Jung saw synchronicity as the unconscious orchestrating events. Noticing a pattern of exclusion, sign 4, at specific times helped me identify a friend's resentment. What synchronicity highlights a sign for you? It's a call to awareness. The persona, tied to sign 3, is a social mask that conceals the shadow. Jung warned that over-identification with it creates inauthenticity. To counter, practice vulnerability in safe spaces. Emily broke through a colleague's facade by sharing her own struggles, fostering openness. What vulnerability could you share to test authenticity? The self, Jung's archetype of wholeness, counters the shadow's divisiveness. Cultivating it through meditation helped me respond to sign 8's irritation with calm. Olivia found centering herself reduced reactivity to gossip, sign 7. How can you nurture yourself to navigate these signs? It's the anchor for clarity. More steps. 11th, archetype exploration. Identify if the person's behavior mirrors a shadow archetype like the trickster. 12th, forgiveness practice. Release resentment toward their shadow to free yourself. 13th, body awareness. Notice your physical reactions to signs for insight. 14th, reading Jung Psychology and Alchemy for projection insights. 15th, community healing. Join groups to process relational wounds. These expand your toolkit. Projections often carry historical baggage, family dynamics shaping sign 9. My sensitivity to criticism traced to childhood disapproval, amplifying others' projections. What past experience heightens your reaction to these signs? Healing it softens their impact. Sign 5's body language links to Jung's somatic unconscious, emotions stored physically. Practice mirroring their posture mindfully to understand their shadow. This helped me decode a friend's defensiveness. What body signal can you read more deeply? Synchronicity in sign 10, lack of curiosity, may align with dreams of disconnection. Jung's Red Book emphasizes such alignments. Sophia's dreams of silence preceded a friend's withdrawal, prompting her to address it. What dream connects to a sign you've noticed? The persona's role in sign 3 ties to cultural shadows, like suppressing anger in polite societies. Jung critiqued this repression. Challenge it by expressing healthy boundaries, as Rebecca did with an overly polite colleague. What cultural norm masks someone's true feelings? The self's integration counters all signs, fostering empathy. Visualize yourself as a radiant center, diffusing tension. This practice transformed my response to sign 6 inconsistency. How can your self guide your reactions? Additional steps. 16th, reflective walks, ponder signs in nature. 17th, art therapy, draw the tension to externalize it. 18th, affirmation practice. I see clearly and respond with wisdom. 19th, shadow dialogue with others, discuss their behaviors calmly. 20th, gratitude journaling, focus on positive connections daily. These fortify resilience. Let me share a final story. Sophia sensed a friend's subtle exclusion, sign 4, and irritation, sign 8. Using Jung's shadow work, she journaled, confronted her own projections, and had an honest talk, uncovering the friend's hidden envy. This clarity saved their bond. What clarity awaits you? Imagine relationships where shadows are seen but don't control you. I challenge you to journal one sign you've noticed this week. Share it in the comments. What did you uncover? Like, if you're ready to see clearly, subscribe for more, and let's heal together. Step into awareness today, and I'll see you in the next video.